You only got 1 month left.
How are you? It's nice to see you.
Have fun out here.
It's a pretty day.
I think it will.
Always care what the actions happen.
I know, right?
Yeah.
This time we get to do everything in the picture, right?
Yeah, I'll find it again.
I don't know.
Mic check!
Mic check?
Mic check!
Oh, I got a test.
I'll see you in a minute.
On November 16th, 2011, California State University, Board of Trustees, voted to raise student tuition fees by 9%. Starting fall 2012. With a 12% increase, past this summer, CSU tuition, already gone up 283% since 2002. The quality of our education has not risen with the cost. Class sizes have grown. There are fewer sections. Classes offered. Talented faculty and staff have been turned away. And those students who remain have fewer options in designing a learning experience that will make them productive members of society. Equal access to higher education is a right recognized in all civilized societies and guaranteed in Article 26 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights passed without opposition by the United Nations. A well-educated populace makes possible a civil society that is most just and equitable to all its members. We understand that you do not decide the cuts and tuition increases for the CSU system. That is done by the Board of Trustees. We also understand that the trustees do not decide the state budget, which has forced the CSU system to do more with fewer resources. However, we do understand that the CSU campus presidents, the chancellor, and the trustees are prominent citizens of California, and their words and actions much influence. We expect the influence to be asserted on behalf of the students, faculty and staff. We expect this to be done publicly, and with the input of the CSU community. Lieutenant Governor and SFSU trustee Gavin Newsom has called for a revote at the trustee meeting on December 5th. Chancellor Reed has denied the request.
Boo!
He's the worst!
He is the of the board who voted for the tuition increase. Have made the fight for fair, affordable, and accessible education more difficult. They have taken a stand against the students and have made themselves a target of our protest. It is time for you to make a choice. You can stand with them, or you can stand with your students. If you decide to stand with us, fee increases.
9% tuition fee increases.
We expect these letters
We expect these letters
to be sent out
to be sent out
by close of business December 2nd.
by close of business December 2nd.
And we expect them to be made public. We have a long fight in Sacramento.
Everywhere.
Next semester. Your office. The Chancellor's office. And the Board of Trustees. To stand up with us. And taking bold and uncompromising action. Against the cuts. Of public higher education. Any CSU executive. Or administrator. Who does otherwise. Is not worthy of their position. They will immediately become the target of constant protest and direct action. In order to combat the attacks on public higher education from the outside, we need a leadership that is receptive to the needs of those it is supposed to serve. And that will inspire the CSU community in taking a stand. Any campus president, chancellor, or board member who fails to provide this has made themselves an obstacle. And we will organize to remove that obstacle. Sincerely, Occupy SFSU General Assembly. Adopted November 28th, 2011.
Everyone here, I just wanted to make an announcement that our lovely president is actually here. So maybe we can ask him a few questions. Tell him our grievances in person. What kind of car is he driving? If he has faces to put to these grievances, maybe, I know, right? Maybe he'd be more willing to send these letters out.
Let him talk!
No, let me hear from you. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, let's hear from you!
Let me ask some questions. Let me ask some questions, okay? Yes. Number one.
Louder!
You're used to it, activist.
Number one, can you hear me?
Yes.
Would each of you raise your hand if you have visited with a member of the state legislature? Those of you who visited with a member of the state legislature.
Just read it.
Would each of you, put your hands up, would each of you who have written a letter to the governor?
Raise your hand.
The government is co-opted by corporate lobs! What's that gonna do? That doesn't do anything!
To the governor.
Don't patronize us!
I'm not patronizing you. I'm asking you how, in fact, you're going to do something to gain what you're after. This is an important movement. This is an important movement. The future of public higher education in California is at risk right now. Not because the fees are going up, but because there is not enough money to support higher education.
What's your living stipend? Take a pay cut.
You can push and everything for the fees to be reduced, but that doesn't increase the support for higher education. You need these bankers that you're talking about. Let me put it differently. You have to to get people to pay the taxes. You've got to get the governor to support an increase in the budget. You have got to get the legislature to approve that.
Passing a lion, not to be a lion.
Case for more money, not for destroying after the fee.
Mic check. Mic check. President Corrigan came out here to address us. Let's at least let him speak. And then afterwards, we'll say something. Stop yelling at him. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Actually, there's a question over here from the right, which I'll answer, and then let's see what else questions you have. What you want to say? Wants to know whether or not I've been working on this. I've been working on it. Wants to know whether I've been working on it. I and my colleagues in the presidencies and the other campuses have been working on this for 4 years now. We have been in the legislature. We have been to see the governor. We have been in the legislative office. We have written to people. We have sent you requests to do something, your parents to do something. We have been doing everything possible in order to build up support for the funding of public higher education. Now I am asking you to show your support for public higher education by getting out there to get to Sacramento. Every Friday, these legislators are in their offices here in San Francisco. And you want to know something else? Throughout the state, every one of the Republicans who is opposing increases in the funding of higher education, every one of those people is in his or her office throughout the state. Why aren't you supporting what we need to have done, which is to get the legislature to pass a budget that will help higher education? That's what you need to do, and that's what you do to actually form the binding with the rest of Occupy. Get something done, get something done which will save opportunities for everybody to get a decent, low-cost education in California.
Are you going to send the police out on the encampment?
Should we be taking steps?
Are you going to send the police out on the encampment?
Mic check. Okay, for everyone who has a question for Corrigan, we will put you on staff. That way, one by one, you can ask your question. Thank you.
Do respectfully.
Will you protect the young people? Will you protect the young people that are going to occupy and put up tents and keep the campus police away?
I can guarantee one thing, that this won't be a UC Davis. The issues as to how an occupation is done, whether there'll be tents or not, is a different issue. But nobody behaves in an appropriate fashion will in any way be hurt by any member of the campus police force. I can assure you of that. There will be none of what we saw at UC Davis.
Good.
Thank you.